Hello, welcome back to the platform tutorial. In today's episode, we are gonna do a couple of little polishing up points on the artwork in terms of the exit. At the moment, our exit is a starry door, but we need to put in another animation so when the player exits the game, we have a nice little animation of him walking through the door. Rather than what we have at the moment, which is him just exploding. And if I just grab the door and drag it over to the front of the level, just to save me having to complete the whole level. If I get that and I just put that bomb down, well, that's behind. I need to put that on the items layer. Put it there. If I just put that door up there, at the moment when we complete the level, I fell. He just explodes, and not even where we want him to. So what I want to do is I want to add an animation for him going through the door. So let's do that first. And we are going to do the menus today, hence the title of the video. We're going to do the you win screen, and we're going to put in all of the variables such as the bombs, the coins, and the score at the end of the level as well. But for now, let's go to the sprite that we've called SPR_exit. Double click. We've got our first animation, which is the stars just flickering in the background. We need to come over here to the animations window, right click and add an animation. I'm going to get that as animation number 2. Go to animation number 1, and I'm just going to copy the first frame completely. I'm going to Control C or Command C, and then I'm going to Control V, and then hit the crop button. That hasn't cropped it entirely, so I'm going to grab it again. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this, and I'm just going to duplicate. I'm going to change animation 2 to exit animation. I'm just going to keep it the same, so I've got the frames there, so ignore that first bit. And now what I want to do is I want to draw the character disappearing into here, so I just want to get a reference. I go into here. If I copy that, we've got a walking animation here. If we copy that walking animation, in fact, no. What I want to do, I want to do the idle animation. I'll show you why in a second. I just want to copy that whole thing. So just drag the box around, hit Control C or Command C. You can close that. Go into the exit. Go to frame 1 of the exit animation. Control V, you can paste him in. Ignore that. I just want to see size-wise if that works. I think it will. I think it will be the right size. If I just change, if I select the sprite here, and I just change it to X animation, yeah, that's going to be perfect. It'll be just the right size. Obviously, that's not what we want. We want that one. Double click back into the door, go to the exit animation, and now what I want to do is I just want to turn him around. So we're going to just do a tiny little bit of artwork on him. So I'm going to copy that red color and I'm going to drag it down as it's going to be the hair on the back of the head. So now he's kind of instantly just turning away from us, which is great. It's just what I want. I'm going to take the red, the dark red, and it's going to be darker on the inside, so we need to just draw a darker shadow around the outside of the hair, and we need to go darker on the, in fact, grab the lighter yellow. Everything on the inside yellow-wise is going to be light. Everything on the outside is going to be dark. So I'll probably go to there, and then grab the darker tones and just put them around the outside. There, 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 there. We can go back in there and I'll do those. No, I'll leave it just at the one. I need the darker red, and I just want to bring that around there. Yeah, that's good. Now we want him just to walk off into the door, so I'm going to just animate him just bobbing up and down. Click on, if you go back and just select him, Don't worry if you get the stars in there, that's not an issue. Go back and just copy and paste, drag him down so he's right in the middle. Make sure he's in the right place every time. And now what I want to do is I just want to move that up, move the hand up, and then get the yellow color, draw in where the gap is, select the darker tone, and again, just go in there. I also want to get the black background because we don't want any of that in there. Cover that up. And so it looks like he's walking. I'm going to do that. Take away one leg. Grab the lighter yellow. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. So it looks like he's kind of taken a step in just on that left foot. And let's copy that one. Let's paste it in there into the next one. Copy that yellow color. So the darker tone. Bring it down. I'm going to put that foot back on the floor. Make that black. Get the lighter tone. It doesn't have to match up in any way because the animation is going to be quite quick. You'll see that. Take that foot, take it up, grab the yellow, and again, just kind of there, and then go on. Let me just play that and see how. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's slow it down. I don't want it to loop. Yeah, but what I want him to do is he was going up there. I need him to drop down here. Cover that in black. So just select him, drag him down there, and then on this last one, I think I can probably copy this one again and then paste him in there, pop him down. And then one thing I've noticed is the base of the door here, that needs to be grey and grey. Grey along there. And then in there, just fill that in underneath there. And then there's a slightly darker tone just above, which we need to fill in. There, there, and on this one. Oh, not there. There. And on this one. And I think, yeah, there's one back on here. Perfect, just don't want to miss anything. And now we need to make him fade out as he's walking. In fact, I might even just copy this frame again and just pop it in there, just to extend that a little bit. Yeah. And we'll just do two more. So we can select both, right click, duplicate. And now he's got a little walk cycle there. And now I need him to gradually fade out as if he's walking off into the abyss. So the first one is fine. And then I think I'm going to start it on frame 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a rectangle tool. I'm going to take the border thickness down to 0, which means that we're just going to use that top color. I'm going to make it black, and I'm going to take the alpha just down to 100. Oh, not 100 brackets, 100. So you can see it's already faded out the opacity of the actual color itself. And then all I want to do is just drag that over the top of him. Probably just there. And then I don't want to drag it right down to the bottom because I don't want the steps to be in. So then with the pen tool, I can just draw in the bits I've missed. And then on the next one, I'm just going to increase the opacity to 125 so it's slightly darker, and again drag that over him so it's getting darker as he walks, which would indicate that he's moving further away. And then in the next one we can take that up to, I think, getting close to the end now, so let's take that up to 175. Drag that over him. You can see he's really fading out now. And then on this one, we can take that up to 200. Yeah, so he's practically disappearing into the abyss, ready for level 2. And then in the final one, we're going to take it up to 225. So you'd barely be able to see him now. No, 225, not 255. There you go. So you can still faintly make out the yellow. The red's practically all gone. There, so now if we play it, yeah, he's just walking out of the level as if nothing ever happened. So now we can close that down. We've got that animation sequence here. Now we just need to put into the event sheet that when he touches this, we're not going to spawn the particles, because that's what we're spawning when he dies. And what I also want to do is I want to check, because we've made the character yellow now, I want to change the color of these particles. So just double click into them there. Let's go get a yellow color. Again, it doesn't have to be exactly 255 on the alpha is going to bring it back up to a solid color. Color that bit in yellow, go slightly darker, and just color those in. And what I might do as well, in fact, I might just take the corners off, see what that looks like, and then just replace a couple of those like that. I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's better. I like that. Let me just test that out, see if he dies. See what happens when someone would die. Let's get a shot. Yeah, that's much better. It just makes more sense being a yellow particle effect when we've got a yellow character as all. Now we need to code in what happens when we hit the door. So if we go to the event sheet number 1, we can close down player. Go to level exit. So when the player collides with the exit, we're not going to spawn the particles anymore because, well, he's not dying. He's exiting the level. We're still going to destroy the player, and then we're going to bring him back in the next level. We're going to call the fade out function, but I want him to walk through the door before all of that happens. So I'm going to just duplicate this wait 1 second action. Just Control C or Command C. I drag it in here because I want the animation to play. I mean, we could put on animation finished. But let's just put in the wait function now. So add another action, go to sprites, click on the player, and then I want to set the animation of the player to... Sorry, no, the animation of the door, not the animation of the player. So go back to sprites, go back to the exit, set the animation to exit animation. I'm going to play it from the beginning and pop it in there. We can wait 1 second and then go to fade out. Let's see what happens. We may need to tweak that. We could also put in on animation finished if we really want. Click the bomb there. Yeah, you touch the exit, you go in, and you get to the end of the level. I mean, I like it. If you don't like it, then do your own thing. But I like it. Let's move the level exit back. Put it up there. We're not going to put it up there. Put it back at the end of the level next to our exit sign. Right there. Good, so we know where we're going. Is that rotated? Yes, don't rotate it. Now, that's all done. We've taken the particles off. What I also want to happen is when we drop bombs on these guys, I want the bomb to kill them if it hits them, because at the moment it doesn't, and I don't like that. The blast kills them, which is lovely, and I want to add a particle effect to the enemy to make them go splat. In fact, let's do that first. So we can do that really quickly by just cloning this one. So click on it, so to select it, right click, clone it, pop it over here anywhere. We're going to call this particle enemy death. And double click in, and we're just going to change the colors to red. I'm going to go dark red, and then just to mix it up, we'll put the light red on top. And now when the bomb hits the enemy, so if we go under here, I think we've got an enemy collisions, on collision with blast, destroy, and then when we get destroyed, we're going to go sprites, enemy 1, spawn another object, which is going to be the particles enemy death. We're going to spawn it on the items layer. Image 0.0 is fine. So every time the enemy dies now, we're going to spawn that. But I also want the enemy to die when he collides. And sorry if I'm going too fast. Copy this, click in the little green bit, copy with Control C and then Control V or Command if you're on a Mac. It will paste underneath. Double click in this section here. Change the blast to bomb and then to bomb and then click done. So when the enemy collides with the bomb, although that's going to happen if he walks into the bomb, which I don't want. I only want it to happen if it drops on his head. Okay, we can add a condition. So we can go, if enemy collides with the bomb, and then you can push, make sure, don't click on the arrow, just click on the enemy, and it will highlight just those two. Push C on the keyboard, and we can add a condition. We only want that to happen if the bomb is moving downwards. So we go sprite, bomb, if we can just compare the X value. So I only want it to happen if the enemy is basically below the bomb. So if the bomb is greater than or equal to the enemy, remember the names, sprite underscore enemy 1 dot X. No, we're comparing the Y. Oh, it's been a long day. Compare the Y. So if the bomb is Y axis, which is up and down, is greater than the sprite underscore enemy 1 dot Y. So if it's above him, that's what I want. That's what I want to happen. I want to destroy the enemy and spawn the particle. So only if the bomb's above him when it hits him. If he walks into it, nothing's going to happen. Oh my word. Let's click on the bomb. Okay. It's because we were talking. Okay. I'm stupid. I'm stupid. This is the one that we drop. This is just the pickup. Oh, goodness me. Oh, it's been a long day, guys. I'm not going to lie. I've just finished work. But yeah, I have to have a job. And I've come home to add this tutorial in because I know that we need to get it finished. Let's go back to the enemies. If I do Control Z or Control Z, we can undo. It's not collision with bomb, it's collision with bomb explosion. Now we can add that condition back in. I'm hoping it works. Check the Y. We can compare. No, we're not going to compare. Can we compare the velocity? If the Y velocity is greater than 10, so basically the Y motion, so if it's moving faster than 10, then will it kill? It should do, actually, because it is going to be moving when it hits the... Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Love it. Now the bombs have a bit of weight, so they're a bit of a weapon in themselves. If we can time it right and we can drop it on their heads, then great. Then that's another way that we can kill the enemies. Now I just want to make sure that if we drop it there, yeah, that's perfect. It doesn't die if he walks into it. Oh, don't fall. But he does if we drop him instead. I'm happy with that. Let's get on with the menus. I know that that's what we came to do in the first place. Just wanted to tweak those two things because they were bothering me. I hope you found it worthwhile because I did want to just tweak those things. Right, okay. Menus. So we've got our menu layout over here. We've got layout 2. Look how beautiful it is. That's so beautiful. I love it. Right, we need to get rid of this because this is horrendous. Let's just delete that. And I don't even like this button. We're going to put a new button in. We can get rid of text you win. Yeah, you've deleted the last known one, but that's fine. And I don't even like that button. We're going to get rid of that. Yeah, it's fine. What I do want to take, though, from the sprites, and again, let's tidy these up. I'm so untidy. sprite collision wobble, heart, sign. Maybe we'll put another sign in there, I don't know, but for now, let's just grab them and drag them into the sprites folder. We'll put the text in there. Go into the sprites folder. I want to get that tiled background that we made. I think it's this one. Yeah, that's the one. Just drag it out. I want this to be the background for the menu screen. So that's quite nice. I want to get these hills. I want to put those at the bottom. They don't need to be as big as they were, so you can shrink them down. Shrinkity shrink. How big did we make them? The whole level. Aha, there we go. We can just shrink them to fit. It's fine. And then we got the water. Yeah, let's put some water in there. Let's put it in. Let's make use of the darker tones that we made. You know, let's highlight and show off our skills as pixel artists. I'm not going to do that bit by bit. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to shrink it down. Stick it in there. Stick it in there. So it already looks quite nice little background. We've got this Hud Tiled Background, which I'm going to make use of as well. So we're going to drag that in, and I'm going to shrink that down, and I'm going to do that. But I'm going to change the opacity on this one to 50%. So probably even more than that, maybe 25%. Hit play. Let's take a look at the layer. Yeah, it's quite nice. Thinking maybe we do the whole screen. Yeah, I like that. And then you've got just the water in the background. And then you've got the overlay. So now we can put the text and the UI elements on here with a nice little kind of tidy background, which I like. We've got the tiled background health. So what do we want to display when the player gets to the end of level 1? What do we want to tell them they've done? I think we want to tell them how many coins they've collected. Let's figure out how many coins we've got in level 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is a horrendous number of coins. Let's just copy one out, put it on the items layer. So that's 14. And then we'll copy this one out and put it there. And now that's 15 coins. That's a lot better. That's 15 coins. So we can tell the player that we've got so many out of 15 coins. So let's go ahead, go back into the text. We've got a generic text. We've got that you win text that we can change. We're going to change that now. We're not going to call it you win. We're going to call it text general. So this is text that we can use over and over again that doesn't have any specific behavior attached to it. I don't like the font. It looks terrible. You can put whatever font you want. I'm just going to put impact because I like impact. And I'm going to change it white. And put that there. And I'm going to change the size to 25. And I'm not going to say you win because we haven't. We've just completed level 1. So I think the best thing to put in here, and if you just click over here in the text, just type in level complete. Level complete. Great. Good message. We can now select it. We can hold down Control or Command, drag out a copy, because again, this is generic text. We can use this for anything. I'm going to drop the size down now to 16, maybe 14. And I'm going to change the horizontal alignment to left. I'm going to resize the text box. And in here, I'm going to write coins collected. And I'm going to leave it at that. What else are we going to track? I think we could track enemies killed. So 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies in the game. So go back to layout 2, Control, drag down a copy. We're going to call this one enemies killed. Track that. I think we'll leave it at 2. We don't want to overcomplicate. This is just a tutorial series. We're not making a masterpiece of a game. So we'll do 2. So because we're going to track coins collected and enemies killed, we need a variable that's going to track those throughout level 1 so we can call it back at the end of level 1. So I think we've already got one for coins. No, we haven't got a variable for coins. So we need to create those variables now. So we're going to go back to event sheet 1. You're going to right click, you're going to add a global, and we're going to call this coins. And we're going to right click and we're going to add another global, and we're going to call this kills. We're going to track our kills. So now every time we collect a coin, so under collectibles here, when we collide with that coin, we're going to destroy the coin, add 1 to score. Okay, so score is tricking it. We'll keep score there because we're going to play with that a little bit later. We also want to add 1 to coins. So we're going to go add an action. We're going to go system. We're going to add 2, and we're going to go coins 1. So every time we collect a coin, we can now effectively get 15 coins, 15 in the number in that variable. On the start of the level, we want to reset that value back to 0. Yes, because we're not. Yeah, we do. I'm just thinking out loud. Set value of coins, because at the end of level 1 we're going to go into level 2 using the same event sheet. We want to set the coins back to 0, or do we want to keep a running tally? Let's leave it. Again, I like to think outside. I like to think out loud. We may come in and put that back to 0 at the beginning. I want to see how it affects the play. Now in level 1 we've got, in the HUD up here, we've got the score text here. We've got that tracking the coins. Now I don't want that. I want to change this over here to text underscore, not money, coins. Now if I do that and I change it up here in the name, if we go back to the event sheet, it's going to change it in the code as well here. Let's so text underscore coins set to score. But I don't want to set it to score now. I want to set it to coins. I hope I haven't lost everybody here. So this is just an arbitrary name. We can call that whatever we want. You can call that text underscore yellow circles with dots in them if you want to. What's important is that's tracking the variable coins, whereas before it was tracking score. And yes, I know that we're going to add 1 to each, but I also want to influence the score by taking damage and then deduct from it. I also want to add to the score when we kill enemies, so the score is going to tally up more than just coins, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, just go back and replay the video. And if you still can't get it, leave a comment and I will reply to you and let you know, hopefully, a better explanation in the text if you haven't got it on here. But if you haven't, just copy along and it should hopefully make sense. So now we're tracking the coins with the coin global variable. So that means that we can then refer to that on layout 2 here. So we can go over here, grab this same text underscore coins and drag that out. It says 0. Of course, we can affect how this looks on this screen. That's not an issue. We are going to change the size to 12. I'm going to change it on the font here. And if you don't have to type in impact, you can click on the 3 little dots and you can drop this down. Select impact, click OK. Drag that out. Pop that there, change the color just for fun to yellow, because coins are yellow. You see it's not quite aligning up there. It's because I got that at size 14, I got that at size 12. And I've got it centered instead of left. And I've got that center, yeah, so just make sure it's the same. Y. There you go. Coins collected 0. So now when we update the level, that is being updated constantly. This one here, because the event sheet is event sheet 1, that's going to also update at the same time. What we can also do here is, and again, we can probably code it in, but if I'm just thinking we don't have to have just a 0. We can have it coded so, well, I'll show you. So instead of having a 0 here, this isn't going to work. I'm going to change it back, but I can show you. We can set text coins to say, if we double click in here, coins, but we can also say, because that's just going to be the number, we can also put in here the and icon, and we can put something else after it, and whatever you put out after it needs to be in brackets, so we can do and space /15 and then the close off bracket. So it's going to put whatever number that is and then out of 15, but that's going to look really good in here, but it's not going to look very good in there. So we're basically picking or choosing what we want. So I'm going to leave it out just for simplicity. There are ways around it. You could create another text box and we could set that to display that the whole time, but I'm just going to keep this simple, guys, and already I feel like I'm confusing people. So go back into the event sheet, just set that just to save coins. Again, we'll do future tutorials and I'll go into a bit more detail and make things a little prettier, but for this time I just want to get this one finished, the whole platform thing, so you can see how it works. Enemies killed, we need to put a text in there, so we can clone this one, clone the object, click on it, so instead of underscore underscore kills, and we can drag that down, pop it underneath, and let's just make this red because the enemies are red and blood is red. And now we just need to set that in the event sheet. So we can go back to event sheet 1. We can go up to initialize under every tick. So every moment of the game, we can go add action, text kills, and we can set that value, set text, to the global variable that we created with the little globe by it, kills. So that's just going to update kills. Now we need to tell the system to give us a point every time we kill an enemy. So we go into the enemies event sheet, which we've got up here. Enemy on collision with blast, destroy the enemy. And again, this will be a good time to put in a function. We can have all of this in a function. In fact, it's good practice. We should definitely do that. Click at the bottom, add a function. We're going to call this one kills. No, enemy death. Yeah, it's fine. We can just leave it like that. So when we call the enemy death function, what do we want to do is we want to destroy the enemy. So we can just drag these bits down. We want to spawn the particles for sure. And we also want to give our kill variable a point. Add to kills 1. So every time we call enemy death, these three things are going to happen. We've been coding it in separately under here. Now we've got that, we can just go over here and we can just call that function enemy death. And then control paste, control drag it out. So now that's a lot cleaner. We've got those two functions down there by themselves. We could even just add a group called function. It already exists. Enemy functions. And then we can grab the shooting one, which we made earlier. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch it because it's very informative. We can drag that into the enemy functions. We can close it up and look how neat and tidy everything looks. So neat and tidy. So now every time we kill an enemy, we're going to get a point, which is going to be displayed here. Every time we collect a coin, we're going to get a point, which is displayed here. And the only thing we can do now is test the game. And this is the worst bit because I'm so terrible. I feel like I will die. And it's going to take forever to get to the end of the level. But let's see if we can kill a few enemies. Yeah, stay on page. Let's go back to level 1, and now let's test it. So if I can hopefully get to the end of the level, collect some things. Oh, goodness me. Terrible, terrible start. So I haven't killed any enemies yet. Hopefully I can kill this guy. Let's kill this guy. Good, he's dead. I feel like another enemy up there just died. We'll have a look at that in the next episode. We can go up here, we can collect some of these coins. Collect the hearts back. Yeah, this enemy died here as well. We can fix that with the unique ID function. It's fine. Let's get to the end of the level. We've only got 22 seconds to go. I forgot I've got a time limit. Oh, I just dropped the bomb. Let's get up here. Oh, you're kidding me. Six, 5, 4, go to the end, And there we go, we collected 14 coins, we killed one enemy, and we completed the level. In the next episode, we're going to add a button, which is going to say continue game, or on to the next level, or whatever it might be. We're also going to fix the issue that we had when we destroyed one of these enemies with the bomb, and then they all destroyed. And the issue with that's going to be in the enemy death. Here, that enemy death function. Okay, so just thinking about it, let's just quickly put this in now. Exactly the same as what we've got up here. That way we can pick each individual enemy based on which one we're bombing. So right click, add a perimeter. We can call it the same thing. Enemy UID. Add a sub event. We can go sprites, enemy 1, and we're going to pick by unique ID. And with the unique ID is going to be the enemy.uid perimeter that we just popped in here, and then we can just drag all of this into this now. So it's going to run right there too. Get rid of that one. We can drag all of this down and just run it in that sub event there. So we're going to select this enemy by unique ID, whichever one we're bombing, and that's the one we're going to destroy. And then we come up here. It will automatically put in this perimeter here with a default 0 into it. Just double click. Instead of 0, we just need to put in here SPR underscore enemy1 dot UID, so the unique ID of that sprite. And the same one we just need to put in here SPR underscore enemy1 dot UID, so it's the unique ID of that individual sprite. That's what we're passing through when we call that death function. And that's it. And then if we test that out now, we should be good. We should be just killing the enemies that we want. Bomb. Killed. And this one is still going. Perfect. And now that one. And I'd fall off. Anyway, you get the idea. We're going to leave it there.